Good afternoon, Janine. How are you doing?
All right, and how are you?
Good. Now tell me about your training history.
Sure. I only actually joined a gym 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. And I've never been a gym person at all. I was a hockey player, tennis player, Pilates, anything but the gym. I didn't fancy a gym, but
So you've
then
always been an active person.
yes. No, I've always done sports of some kind. And then when the timing didn't work as well, a friend of mine introduced me to a gym, which I went to for 18 months. And now I left that gym, times didn't work, and now I came here, which is convenient. And I must say, you guys are great. They help me, they push me, especially Pule. He likes to push me the most.
Now, who influenced you to be active? Was it your parents active, or how did you become active?
My parents were always sporty themselves. My sisters were sporty, so we just grew up always doing sports. I was a tomboy, so I always was playing sports and being active with family friends who I grew up with, not doing any girly girl things ever.
So
I've never been that way inclined.
Yeah. So how many are you in your family? Siblings?
2 sisters and myself, so
And
my
your
dad and 3 girls.
And your
I'm
sister's
the-
also very active.
Yes, they are both very active. One is extra active, and the other one probably the same as me. But then my other one, the one who's very active, doesn't work, so it's easier. And then my younger sister and I, we do gym when we can. But we used to play hockey together, we used to play tennis together. But now this is what we do. We can fit it in.
And what does fitness mean to you? How does it benefit
When
your life?
when I go to the Drakensberg, I can climb a mountain without feeling like I'm going to die and cough up a lung. It's just maintaining. If I want to be active, I don't want to be out of breath. So it's having a decent enough heart rate that can manage certain fitness things when I'm on holiday. And obviously having a degree of strength as well. So if I need to do something physical, I actually can, and I've got the core body strength so that I don't injure myself.
Now, looking at you, you look very masculine. You look very good. How is your eating?
Well, I studied dietetics at university, so ever since qualifying as a dietitian, it's something I just have always been aware of. And my family puts on weight easily, so I've just grown up my whole life being careful of what I eat, and then studying dietetics just made me even more aware. So I'm careful. Yes, so my eating is a very big factor.
Okay. What are your simple nutrition principles?
Low fat, low sugar, high fiber, high protein, no simple carbs, and everything in moderation, even what's supposedly good food. Anything that's in large quantities is bad, regardless. And eating low kilojoule foods so that you can eat more of them and enjoy them. And then always making sure you have a little bit of a treat as a reward for all the healthy eating for the majority of the time.
You look very self-motivated. What drives you?
I take pride in what I look like, and not that I don't do selfies, I don't wear fashionable clothes, but I like my clothes to fit comfortably. I don't want them to be tight, and I refuse to buy a bigger size. So I must fit in my clothes, and that's it.
And have you noticed any difference in weight as you advance in age?
Yes, it's certainly much harder to lose weight after 45, significantly harder. So this has helped, but yes, I mean, that's actually involved getting hormones right from a homeopath as well, because it doesn't just happen with diet and exercise. Sometimes there's other factors that just need some TLC as well, and then it's a balance between all 3 of them.
What advice do you have for that woman sitting on the couch and is given up? She's tried all kinds of diets and exercise. She says, this is not for me.
I think the problem is most people are too impatient to see if it's actually working or not, because you are looking at a minimum of 3 months of a lot of discipline, self-motivation, and if you're doing it for anyone but yourself, it will never last. It's got to be an intrinsic motivation only. Extrinsic doesn't work, and it's hard. No one said it's easy. So if you're looking for anything easy, it won't work. But the buck stops with you. If you want it, you will do it. If you don't want it badly enough, then you will stay on the couch. You will try, but you'll go back to the couch.
Most women that want to lose weight do a lot of aerobics. I see you do a lot of weights. Can you tell us a little bit more why and if you enjoy it?
It's definitely a combination. I actually do the weight aspect because when I stopped playing sport and I did Pilates, I realized the importance of your inner core strength, because I had some I used to actually do Taekwondo, but you can appreciate how much inner core strength you have when you've been doing something like Pilates, and then you realize I never worked with anything more than a 3-kilogram weight, and that in itself it helps with that core strength, and it's not only about the cardio. I know some people who are bigger who only run and they don't do anything else, but doesn't mean they get smaller either. So what works for one also doesn't work for another. So it's definitely about trying various things and finding a combination, because any one thing on its own also, I don't think any one thing will work for any particular person.
What's been the biggest obstacle on your journey to becoming a healthier version of you?
Probably the convenience and timing of being able to come to a gym. Because if it's not convenient, it's easy to just say you can't go. So there was a break between sport and Pilates and finding a gym where I wasn't really doing anything, and I just tried to run on my own. And I need something that is paid for, which forces me to come, but it must fit in with my home and work schedule as well, because at the end of the day, if you're exhausted, you're not going to want to go. If you'd like to sleep in, you're not going to want to go in the morning. So finding that ideal time for a particular person when you don't really have an excuse not to go.
Life, we're talking about how do you balance your life, being a mother, being a professional, taking care of yourself. How do you balance it?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to be a teacher, so a prep school teacher, so I have many more hours in an afternoon than the most corporate person. So, and my children are also that much older that they actually take care of themselves. So that in itself has helped. When they were younger, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So now I'm fortunate enough that I can balance it quite easily.
The average woman looks at you and says, I wish I looked like that. What are you working towards now?
Many people have said that. What they don't realize is I have literally been watching what I eat since I was 10. And it's not that I've ever been fat, but I've never been skinny either. And because I care and I watch what I eat and I'm incredibly disciplined, I can look at a whole pantry of junk food and turn around and go, no, thank you. Most people don't have that discipline, so I don't think they appreciate how much actually goes into saying no and yes, taking care of everything that you see, do. Snacks, I'll keep a protein bar in my car and in my handbag, not chips. So it's also making better choices if you know you get caught hungry. So I say no to the stuff that most people just snack on the sidelines.
So tell me about the day you walked into Dream Body Fitness. What was the transition mentally? What happened that day that you had to walk in?
Well, like I said, I had actually just left another gym. I was actually just looking to find something similar where I could get 30, 40-minute workouts and be intense without it being an hour, because an hour just puts me off. And I'd come from a gym that was much, much smaller than this with far less equipment. And because there were the classes here as well, not that I'm actually doing any, I needed 2, the ability to come in here any day of the week, get exactly what I want, my 30 to 40 minutes, and just chatting to the people who were friendly, always willing to help, and then having a program set out, and it doesn't get dull because it's changing up all the time. It actually made me quite excited to join here, and it's actually better than where I was, just because the timing, the opportunity, the variety, and as I say, the one-on-one help and friendliness from everybody here. So that's why I've renewed my contract.
Beautiful. Now, Janine, you're talking to your friend to friend. You're telling them why they have to come to Dream Body Fitness. Talk to them.
I think it certainly caters to almost anybody who wants to do a gym. If you like the classes, they've got the classes. You can train for as short or as long as you want. If you want to train on your own, you can train on your own. If you want to bring someone, you can bring someone. If you need help, there's always someone to help you. And if one goes off, another one comes on. I like the flexibility. Open 6 days a week. The hours, it's to be hard to not find a suitable time and a suitable class or training program that doesn't suit everybody. I think if you come, you have a look, and you have an idea of what you want, you will definitely find what you want here, in any manner of speaking.
Now, beautiful. Now, last one, Janine, looking back at your life, 10 years, 20 years back, what are the life lessons that you've learned? And talk to the young Janine now.
Oh my goodness. Life is about perspective. If you have something maybe bad enough or traumatic enough that puts everything that is important into perspective, you realize not to sweat the small stuff. So that for me was 21 years ago, giving birth to a blind girl, which we didn't anticipate, and it just put everything in the world into perspective. And then you realize that there are certain things that are just not that important. And when other people are worrying about little things, you wish you could just tell them, in the big picture, that really doesn't matter. Focus on actually what's real and important in your world.
And finally, when life is hitting you hard in the gut, what quote, verse, or what is your mantra for staying strong?
Make sure you look after yourself, because if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after the ones you love around you. So whatever it takes, make sure you are first, so that you are mentally strong enough and physically strong enough to then assist with anyone around you who might need it.
And we're happy you've given us a chance to fill your cup first, Janine.
Thank you so much.
You are a star.